Do you guys remember Trials? There was a time when Trials was popular among pretty much everybody. Trials was a fun game. How do I explain Trials? Yeah, so Trials is a racing game series developed by Ubisoft RedLynx and published by Ubisoft, loosely based on the real-life sport of motorcycle trials. It involves a motorcycle rider in a 2.5D world. So yeah, so this is essentially what Trials is, and it was a really fun platformer. Honestly, a very fun platformer. I remember playing this game, and it was a lot of fun to play back then, but then the hype kind of died down, and they put out a series of trial games like kind of back to back, and then it kind of died down. No one really talks about this anymore, unfortunately. Which brings me to the news. Trials developer Ubisoft RedLynx, like I said, they are the ones who made these games. They are to lose 60 employees in layoffs, becoming a mobile developer. Yeah. Ubisoft RedLynx, the developers of the Trials franchise, is set to lose up to 60 employees in the latest round of layoffs by parent company Ubisoft. A statement posted on the studio's website says that Ubisoft is moving forward with the restructuring proposal for RedLynx as part of the company's global efforts to simplify, reduce costs, and ensure a stronger prioritization and efficiency across the company's worldwide studio network. This, I guess, it seems like it's part of company-wide restructure that's been happening since Tencent and Ubisoft created that Vantage Studios, Vantage Studios, overseeing Ubisoft highest IPs, which are Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and Rainbow Six. And I guess as a part of that, whatever's remaining in Ubisoft that's overlooking every other IP, they're going through a restructure as well, which unfortunately means there's going to be a lot of layoffs, and we kind of saw this coming. Not a complete surprise, but still, it sucks to see these video game developers getting sacked purely for no reason other than, whatever the company's downfall due to poor management. The management is still kind of fine, I suppose. I mean, they're still getting paid and stuff, but the developers taking the axe for it because now Ubisoft has to, shrink in order to reduce costs. So I don't know. I mean, it really sucks. And I'm sure there are developers that are really talented among these that is going to be gone as a reason for this. And I hope they do find somewhere else that they can belong to and actually shine creatively as well. Like Sackbird did. Remember Sackbird? We just talked about it a couple of weeks ago about how they got sacked by ZeniMax as a part of Microsoft layoffs, or the larger layoff happening in Microsoft. Well, let go a whole bunch of people, let go from ZeniMax. I think it's almost the entire studio, and they then went on to create their own studio called Sackbird, which is self-funded. So it's got no investors, and they can do whatever they want with it. So pretty cool. And they're probably going to go on to making indie games. They haven't said much, but it's a cool story. And I hope, and it's a positive story, and I hope these kind of things do happen as a result of these layoffs. One can only hope. Most likely won't, but I'm keeping my fingers crossed. RedLynx says that it will negotiate with studio staff before making a decision on the proposal, which focuses primarily on the administration and production teams. These negotiations with the staff are scheduled to start on October 30th and will end by the end of November. If materialized, this proposal would result in the reduction of maximum 60 positions. So they're negotiating with the team to decide who to axe. I mean, they have to reduce 60 positions, so it's purely a numbers game. It's not about talent. It's not about performance. It's purely a numbers game, which is why it sucks. All of this because years of poor, bad managerial decisions that led to the downfall of most of these IPs, which resulted in they having to create an entire separate studio in conjunction with Tencent and have them fund it in order to save those IPs. Part of the problem also was probably, Mark Alex's Corsair which we talked about a couple of days ago. He was let go from the company, who has been Assassin's Creed franchise boss for a long time. Some people are celebrating the fact that he left because, under his leadership, Assassin's Creed has been going on a downward spiral, which I understand. But he's been there for 20 years, joined the company as a developer and now made his way up as a franchise boss. His baby has been the whole Animus Hub, which we all kind of collectively hated. It looks like he didn't have really great ideas as a franchise boss, even though he would have been good as a developer himself. There's no doubt he has a passion for the IP Assassin's Creed, but it looks like the direction he was trying to take wasn't good enough, and probably that's why he was let go. But it doesn't really mean that Ubisoft is on to something or it's on the right direction, because it looks like, from what Mark has said in his LinkedIn post that we talked about the other day. Let me pull it up if I can find it. There it is. Yeah. So yeah, this is the one I was talking about. Yeah. So yeah, he put this post up like 1 or 2 days after he was seemed to leave the company, but then he put this post up and made it clear that he didn't leave the company, he was let go. See, I did not walk away. I stayed at my post until Ubisoft asked me to step aside. So that's what happened. But the thing is, he was let go. Yeah, maybe cause to celebrate because Ubisoft may be taking this in a new direction now. But the thing is, I'm still super cautious about what the hell is happening at Ubisoft, because what he said in this post is that Ubisoft decided to transfer the leadership of the Assassin's Creed franchise to someone closer to its new organization. Yeah, he talks about a different position was mentioned, so he may have been offered a different position, which probably was a demotion, and he just didn't. He didn't want to have it, and then he decided to leave. Sounded like a demotion. What concerns me is the fact that this sounds to me like the Ubisoft's transfer of leadership of Assassin's Creed franchise to someone closer to its new organizational structure. That doesn't sound like something he approved of or like he thought was a good idea, right? And this seems like something that's kind of natural for someone who's getting fired. Like, yeah, you know what? He's not going to like someone getting fired. He's not going to like whoever's going to take on next, right? But we're talking about a guy who's been in Ubisoft for nearly 2 decades, and he's put his heart and soul into this IP one way or the other, since like he's been part of the teams who made good Assassin's Creed games like Assassin's Creed 3, Black Flag, and all that, right? Either way, my concern is who they are probably going to give this leadership to, which is the Vantage Studios. This is the actual article or the announcement from Ubisoft themselves. Following the recent announcement of Ubisoft new subsidiary and its 2 CEOs, we got these 2 guys looking after the Vantage Studios, which is looking after the biggest IPs of Ubisoft, which are Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and Mirage, right? Ubisoft announces Christopher Derenis and Charlie Gilmore. I don't know if I'm butchering these names. I'm really sorry, but if this sounds, I mean, Christopher Derenis sounds like he's been in the business for a while, so he probably deserves it. With complementary backgrounds, Christopher Derenis and Charlie Gilmore bring their strong industry experience, deep knowledge of the Ubisoft ecosystem, and shared culture of innovation to the role. Christophe co-founded Ubisoft's Montreal studio in 1997. Okay, yeah. And most recently served as managing director for the North American region. Charlie began his career in gaming at Oliant in 2014, a studio acquired by Ubisoft. Initially known for its browser-based free-to-play games, the studio began expanding into mobile under his leadership. He returned to Ubisoft in 2025 to join its transformation committee. What's missing in this article is the fact that he is Ubisoft CEO, Yves Guillemot. Do you recognize that last name? He is his son. Straight up, to me, this screams nepotism for a good reason, because I looked into what this guy has done, what Charlie Gilmore has done after leaving the company to, pursue his own stuff. And it looks like he worked on this website. This website is building the future of AI and Web3 entertainment. Unagi was founded by Ubisoft XX in 2022. Since then, we've shipped 4 Web3 games, launched an anime brand, and developed a token-based economy. What does that sound like to you? This is just a whole bunch of, cryptocurrency and NFTs and stuff like that. That's pretty much it. Persona is shaping AI entertainment. This is like, I don't know. Persona is more than just a profile picture. Avatar collection launched in February 2024. The collection is sold out for 18,842 and has achieved over 10,500 ETH in trading volume. Okay. All right. Character 2.0 AI agent introduced in September 2023. Hannah is the main character of the Persona brand and story. A cutting-edge AI agent featured in various media forms. Sounds like a whole bunch of, I don't know what's going on here, but Charlie left Ubisoft to create his own crypto-based NFT mobile whatever AI girlfriend stuff. It sounds like all this stuff, right? Football, basketball, like NFT cards. All the NFTs and clubs are fully licensed. So this is what they worked on. And to be honest, NFTs in games has been like the worst offenders in the past 5-6 years, and this is what he's been working on. This doesn't give me a lot of confidence, It doesn't give me a lot of confidence. Now he's in charge of, there he is, Charlie Gilmore. He is now in charge of the biggest IPs of Ubisoft after having done this stuff. So I don't know how much confidence I'm supposed to have on this guy, even though we can celebrate the fact that Mark has finally left. What are they going to do next really concerns me, because who's now in charge of Vantage Studios, now looking after Assassin's Creed IP and Far Cry IP and Rainbow Six IPs. Yeah, it's really weird, man. It's really weird. So going back to this whole thing with Ubisoft RedLynx, what is the Ubisoft proposal for RedLynx? As far as what the proposal entails, it was said that RedLynx would refocus from being a multi-platform developer to one that specialized in small screens mobile game developer. This would enable it to position itself for sustainable success and optimize its resources to best leverage the studio's unique expertise, starting with 2 unannounced mobile projects the studio's leading. Yeah, they're cutting down the people and then shifting their focus into just purely focus on mobile games. And it doesn't end here. There's more. Massive Entertainment is also taking some layoffs as well. Massive Entertainment, for those who has no idea, Ubisoft subsidiary studio who made Star Wars Outlaws. A big one. It's a big studio. It's not a small studio like Ubisoft RedLynx. It's a bigger studio handling bigger IPs. Now they are getting a cut too. Massive Entertainment, the Ubisoft subsidiary studio responsible for games such as The Division and Star Wars Outlaws, has announced that it is laying off a number of employees. In a post in social media, the studio called it a voluntary career transition program. Don't you just love voluntary career transition programs? I mean, those are the best, right? Those really are the best. As part of our ongoing evolution and long-term planning, we have recently realigned our teams and resources to strengthen our roadmap, ensuring our continued focus on the Division franchise and the technologies including Snowdrop and Ubisoft Connect that power our games. To support this transition responsibly, we introduced a voluntary career transition program giving eligible team members the opportunity to take their next career step on their own terms, supported by a comprehensive package that includes a financial and career assistance. All right, let's see what they're trying to do here. Massive Entertainment says that it remains fully committed to our roadmap and to creating great experiences for players around the world, including The Division 2, The Division 2 Survivors, The Division Resurgence, and The Division 3. Okay, these projects continue with strength, focus, and ambition, and we look forward to sharing more in the future. According to French newspaper Le Figaro, departure plan will run until December 15th. As far as who's targeted for the reduction, it will be inter-project employees. This term refers to employees on permanent contracts waiting to be reassigned to a new project after, for example, their previous video game has been released in stores. The report adds per. So those are the guys bought on extra that worked on a certain project, a video game, and once that video game releases, they just wait until they get reassigned to a new project, because they're kind of the additional stuff that would be brought in as the as game release gets closer and the project progresses and need more hands on it. I assume that's the case, because the way games develop, it's not all hands on deck straight away. When a game starts developing, it starts with a small team, and it sort of gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger as the time goes, and more stuff to do. So I guess those are the stuff that they're talking about. Not necessarily temps, but I mean, because they're on permanent contracts. Yeah, let me know if I'm wrong. The decision to realign comes up just after the launch of the Ubisoft Tencent subsidiary Vantage Studios. Like I said, no surprise there. That studio, which will oversee the Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and Rainbow Six Siege franchises, is the first of the company's planned creative houses. As of publishing, it's unclear what the next step for the creative house's plan will be and what games will be grouped. There was no mention of the number of employees impacted by this decision. Like I said before, they're laying off these developers and staff from these studios, and while it's not surprising, it is very concerning as to where Ubisoft is going at this point, especially concerning their biggest IPs like Assassin's Creed, and Far Cry, and Rainbow Six Siege concerned with Vantage Studios and who's looking after it. It's been looked after by Christophe Derenes. I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong. Who seems to be a veteran in the industry. He founded Ubisoft Montreal, who are great. It's a great studio. It's one of the best ones out of Ubisoft. Assassin's Creed started with them. The right person may have been brought in to look after those IPs, because this person looks like he worked on pretty much all those IPs. But then the other person, there's two co-CEOs. This person and, like I said, Charlie Gilmore, who's Yves Gilmore, CEO of Ubisoft's son. It's a classic case of a Nepo baby in this case. The reason why I say that is because looking at what he's done, it doesn't tell me that he's competent enough to actually handle these big IPs. What he's done in the past up to this point has been pretty mid and screams kind of failure, like I showed you that Unagi website with the NFTs and whatever he's done. He's done free-to-play mobile games before, and now he's been handed the biggest IPs of Ubisoft to look after. It screams nepotism, and I'm not comfortable with it. It does concern me where this is going to go next because of these managerial decisions and the transitions of power over these IPs within the company. That doesn't really align with passion to me. Very concerning among these layoffs and all these transitions of leaderships. We just have to wait and see what's going to happen next, I suppose. Let me know what you guys think of this whole Ubisoft layoffs and the changes happening within the company that's affecting these IPs now moving forward. Kind of at a loss as to what to expect next. We're probably not going to see the results of these leadership changes for years to come, unfortunately. And we're just going to have to wait and see what they're going to do next. And because we already got a couple of games that are already in development before this happened, like, Hexay and all that, which are not going to be affected. But everything else that comes after that is going to be affected by these changes in leadership. And we're just going to have to see what that is. Let me know what you guys think. Oh, and subscribe while you're at it. Thank you.